And we're back.
And we're back.
What's up, baby girl?
Hey. Oh, you know. Living life, honey.
And
birthday weekend in the books.
Another year older, another year more beautiful.
More, honestly, yes.
Yep, more beautiful.
I look at pictures of me from like 5-10 years ago. I was like, ooh, what was I doing?
Yeah, like that one of us in Speedos and wigs on the beach. I was trying to pull that up for the Instagram stories, honey.
No, we both looked beautiful in that picture.
Gorgeous.
Those wigs were fantastic.
Yeah, and just speaking for myself alone, you know, skin crispy like a hot dog. It was beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think back then I really was all about the crispy skin.
Yeah.
You know, getting real tan as I could.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it affected the looks, though. Like the wrinkles really were showing.
You're paying for it now in Botox treatments. Yeah.
I literally. Oh yeah, that was before I knew her. Ooh. Life-changing.
Yep. But listen, with age comes wisdom, so now we know.
It's so true. It's so true.
And how did you celebrate your birthday? Tail? I love your tail, baby. Your special birthday guest.
Special birthday guest.
Miss Bitsy the Kitsy.
What did I do? Yeah, right. This is Miss Bitsy's, everybody. Look at her.
She's so fun.
She's so funny. Oh, she just banged her head. Okay, get off me. What did I do? I went to a great dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Steak 48, honey. Steak 48. Have you ever been?
No, but I've been to Steakhouse 71, so it feels very Disney. You know, just names like that feel very...
I've never been to Steak... Is that in Disney Springs?
No, that's the contemporary...
Oh, yeah, the one that everybody talks about. I always forget the number. There's so many numbers with these
1923 on the cruise ship. Yeah.
I don't know.
Who gives a rip?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Steak 48.
Who gives a rip? So this one was 48.
Sure.
But it was really great. We got the oysters. We got the scallops. We got the filet mignon.
Oh, surf and turf.
A little surf and turf.
And it was 48 for your 48th birthday, right?
Exactly. Right. 48 years young, baby.
Yeah, you look great.
Yes. It was delicious. I had maybe the best dessert I think I've ever had in my life.
Ooh.
I have no idea what it was. It was literally like, I think it was like it wasn't a pound cake. It felt lighter than that, but it was like, there was caramel like infused in the cake, and then it was drizzled on top. Then there was a vanilla gelato on the top, and then homemade whipped cream on the side, and it was best thing I've ever tasted.
And then you poop your pants.
I was just about to say, literally, I don't think I've ever ate so much dessert in my life than the last 4 days. And I was paying for it. Definitely.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll get you.
But it was great.
Good.
It was worth it. You know, sometimes you got to treat yourself.
Of course you did. Listen, who are you telling?
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
What else did I do? I met up with my family, had another small lunch, went shopping, took a walk around my new neighborhood, Brewery Town, honey.
Beautiful.
Can't wait for you to come.
Yes.
And that's pretty much it. What about you? What did you do? What'd you get into?
I had some fun myself because I went to a wicked sing-along drag brunch.
Wow. Right up your little alley.
Just really very straight culture of me, to be honest, because as we know, those are not really for gay people and queer people. They're really for like straight women.
They're for straight people.
And as such, I went with my high school prom date, who is a straight woman, and her child and her husband.
Does she know you're gay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, she knows. I mean, so yeah. No, but we had such a great time. Honestly, I had way better time than I was expecting to. Not that like, I mean, the drag talent in Philly is amazing. It's not like I was like expecting it to like not be good or something, but like, I don't know. I thought I was going to be like really hokey and I was going to be like, oh boy, whatever. Oh my God. It was literally so fun. I was like, obviously wailing along at the top of my lungs, like,
of course.
And it was really like they did it. They literally did like an abridged version of Wicked. Like they did the whole soundtrack with like little vignette scenes in between, like woven through. And honey, I was just tossing back mimosas. It was a blast. I had so much fun.
Yeah, that is a blast. Was it at Fabrica?
It was at City
Fabrica?
Winery.
City Winery.
Which is really nice. They have like a full stage there. And like they were doing it. They were giving costume changes. They were given even special effects. They had like sparks during Defying Gravity. It was like it was a production, honey.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's incredible.
They were like,
I gotta go.
yeah, they were like, come back in the fall when part 2 comes out. I was like, where do I sign? I'll be there.
We'll be there.
Yeah, it was honestly awesome. I loved it. So shout out. Yeah.
I'll
To
be there.
Flip Phone Events.
Speaking
That's who
of which-
hosted it. It was great. Yeah.
Cool. Speaking of which, we never got a Wicked trailer.
Yeah, what's up with that? I mean, this whole week we've been counting
what's up with
down,
that?
waiting with bated breath for this Wick
I
trailer.
literally thought it was going to be on my birthday.
Yeah.
And it never came.
Truly, just
My birthday gift never came.
a dream deferred. So disappointing. I really was like, where is it? I mean, I guess it's coming, surely, but
I mean, it's got to be.
maybe it'll come for
They
my
can't
birthday.
do this to us.
I don't know. We'll see.
It really
In a
might.
couple weeks.
I mean, yeah. Couple weeks, hun.
We'll see.
Couple weeks.
We've seen some things. We've seen some visuals. We've got a poster now, finally. We've gotten descriptions of the trailer. We've gotten some, they're sort of teasing it. But
You know what? High key, I did see some TikTok leaks of Cynthia Erivo singing. Lit. Of course. I mean, there's really nothing I could say other than, of course, it's great. Like,
obviously.
Yeah.
Delivering. I love it.
Delivering.
Speaking of delivering.
You're pregnant?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I was going to ask what you thought of White Lotus, honey. The finale came and went.
Oh my God. It was shocking. I was shook.
You didn't see it coming?
I mean, I saw. Well, I really thought Loki was, spoilers if you haven't seen, but I definitely thought Loki was just going to die. Did not see the resurrection coming. I really didn't see both of Chelsea and Rick die. I really didn't see both of them dying.
Yeah.
I knew that guy was going to be his dad.
Yeah.
For sure.
Of course.
I was glad Belinda got her $5 million.
Girl, I thought their boat was going to blow up in the end. That closing shot as they were like riding off into the sunset, I was like, and then it explodes and then it goes to blackout.
And then it explodes. I'm just glad that he ended her storyline.
Like happily. Yeah.
I was worried. Happily.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, it was kind of upsetting. I mean, Rick and Chelsea were Scorpio and Aries couple, and I'm in a Scorpio Aries relationship.
Indeed.
So I was like, wow.
Yep.
That's scary.
Yeah, it is. It is. I thought it was going to be her. I thought it was just going to be her, and then I was going to be really mad because I was going to be like, oh my God, this like asshole gets to walk away and it's all his fault, but he doesn't get to walk away. He also suffered, but it sucks that she had to be collateral damage and all of it. The poor thing. I love that.
And then everybody's like,
girly.
then everybody's like, oh my God, the visuals, the yin and the yang in the water. I was like, okay, that's a reach, please.
Sure. Yeah, it's like, all right.
Sure, Jan.
Yeah. I did see people saying that the title card for Loki was like him literally in that exact position that he like died on the pool deck in, which is kind of crazy. I don't know if you realized that or saw that online.
No.
Like in the opening credits of White Lotus, you know how it shows all of the little like vignettes of like the close up of this like mural or wallpaper or whatever it is.
Was it a monkey?
No, it's a guy. It's literally a person like in the water and he's like drowned, I think.
Like...
And it's literally a guy like splayed out in the water in the exact position. Because remember there's that shot where it like pans from above over top of him and he's like literally murder scene with like the tape around it. Like he's laying like that. The person in his like title card that's like from the whatever is literally in that exact position. They were like, so this was like right out there from the beginning. I would say the biggest thing for me, and I felt like the most satisfying moment was Carrie Coon's monologue, honey. Literally give her an Emmy now.
I was going to bring it up.
I literally cried. I'm not even joking. I was sitting there watching it and I was like, whoa. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know if I was really just like feeling emotionally fragile on like a Sunday night, but I was like,
maybe.
But also she's an incredible actress, so like that's the power of performance. But like, like her
power of the performance. I was glad.
Such a journey in like 90 seconds.
Yeah, I was glad that they like ended that storyline kind of like.
It was very satisfying.
It was very satisfying. No, I did also love the way Lori sprinted. Got right out of there when those gunshots going
like,
off.
I'm done.
She was like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Loved it.
It was like people were saying on like Twitter, they were like, yeah, she's a New Yorker. You could tell. Yeah. She got the hell out of there.
Yep. Yeah, it was so funny. I felt like that was so excellent. I felt like her character specifically felt honestly like very relatable to me. I was like, this, I feel like I have said something similar in my life, obviously not nearly as
Yeah.
profound, but like have felt that way before.
I felt that too.
It was like,
I felt that deeply. I was
mm,
like, wow, now that I'm like in my 30s, I'm like, wow, that's kind of relatable. Like you really do kind of have to answer for like, I don't know, you always have to like explain your life and your choices to
yeah.
people, like especially like meeting new people, like what do you do? Like what are you like what is
And
this?
this
What is
is
this? And
why I
it's just
do
like,
this. And yeah, how I got
yeah, it's
here.
like you can't just freaking exist.
Yeah.
So I felt that.
Yeah.
But I was also glad that she like brought it around and she's like, no, like we've we've been, you know, friends for since the beginning, and like literally the times that I'm happiest is when we're just like goofing around and like literally not putting on these fronts. And I was like, wow, that's like so relatable. I'm so sick of like just the way society has trained us to just,
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was so amazing from the beginning because the two of them were giving this fake, like, oh, we had just had the most wonderful and amazing week. And
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah,
she
that was
hits
so
them with
good.
she's like,
And then she was like,
if
no,
I'm honest,
actually,
I really felt awful like all week.
I
And their
felt really
faces are both
sad.
like crack, like, what? And then it seems like an eternity because she times it so well and the pacing is so beautiful. But obviously, I've watched the clip back like a million times since then. But like her delivery is so good of it. It's really only like a 90-second monologue. It's not that long, but the
It felt like
beats in it are
3 minutes when I
so
watched it.
good. And like when she gets to the end where she's like, I don't need God or religion or like other external things to like validate my life. Like she was like, I
Yeah.
feel like the passage of time is reason enough. Like I've lived a life, I've had experiences, and like some of my most joyous moments, like you said, have been with you guys. And like her saying, I'm literally getting choked up just saying it, her being like, and I'm just happy to be at the table with you. And she's like crying, and then the two of them are like, oh, like, and they're all saying they love each other.
I
I was
love
like, oh
you.
my
I love
God.
you.
Ah!
I know.
Like,
I feel like, I mean, honey, I think we've been there. Our friend group, honey, we have a few drinks in us. What
oh
I
my
was like,
God.
this is very relatable.
Literally, and like how many times we like sobbed in each other's arms. You're my
Yeah,
favorite
literally.
person. I would
I
be nothing
love
without you.
you. Literally.
No, it was
I
a
was like,
really
wow.
satisfying. That's why with everything else that happened, I was like, all right, well, you know what? We got that out of it.
I know. Yeah, we got that out of it. Did you feel satisfied with the way it ended with the deaths? Like, did you feel like
I mean, I'm not trying to be like whatever. I do feel like it was fairly predictable, like a lot of it was.
yeah.
And that's fine. You know, I don't expect, like, I know that the White Lotus and Mike White's like storytelling is a lot of it is, especially those three women we were just talking about. It's not there for the plot. It's there for like the character study of it all. And so like in that way, you know, I also fully did not really think that anything was going to quote unquote happen with the family. Like I was like, he's not going to actually kill them or kill himself or whatever. Like there's no way. Once Lachlan like did die, I guess I was like, oh shit, maybe this is going to be like a tragic thing. But then once like
Yeah.
they showed the sequence of it happening, I kind of was like, oh no, wait a second. I was like, the fact that the dad's still inside, something's going to happen. Like, so when he came back, I was like, okay, yeah. But I also had called from the beginning. I was like, there's not going to be a satisfying resolution. I was like, maybe we'll get a scene of like the FBI at the airport or something, but you're not going to like see them like, you know, actually have a falling out about this. Like,
or like actually be poor?
yeah, like it's going to be just
Um
like a hint of like something coming. So we'll see. I also was dying
yeah.
laughing during the scene with Piper when she was like,
Oh my god, that scene, I was like, wait,
I
what?
was like cracking up. That
I
was
actually
such
did
good
love
like
it though.
humor. I was like, this is so fucking funny. When she was like, and like you could tell it wasn't organic and it's like kind of bland. And Parker Posey,
At first I
Victoria,
was like, is she kidding?
she's just like, oh, sweetie. And she's like hugging her and she just gives him the thumbs up behind her back. I was
And then you
dying.
could see his brain, in his brain,
He's
he's
like,
like, oh god, I gotta kill her too.
yeah.
Literally.
So funny. I was like, okay, this is like dark and very humorous. Like, so I would say those moments
It
were kind of my
was.
favorite parts. Like the
Yeah.
family and then like those three women. I was like, great, loved it. Yeah.
I will say, I mean, yeah, a couple things. I was like, so they never really explained, like, if you taste the seeds, if you like, how much do you have to consume in order to die? Like, because I feel like they all consumed some of it and they were all
But just
fine.
like a
And
sip.
then,
Yeah. But
yeah,
Lachlan
and
just
then
like chugged the
Lockie
whole
drank an
thing.
entire thing and still survived. I'm like, what? So,
He just
what
puked it
is
up.
the amount that you have to consume in order to fully
Yeah.
die?
Right.
that kind of threw me off. And honestly, part of me was like, I kind of wish he did just kill everybody. I think that would have been interesting. I don't know.
Yeah. I thought that if anything, they were going to maybe show it, but it was going to be another one of those like teasers like they had done earlier in the season where it's like he like fantasizes about like shooting his wife and then himself and then whatever, all this. Like, I was like, maybe they'll show it and then it'll be like, surprise, that didn't actually happen. We see them on the boat in the end, you know, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, all that said, I thought it was fine. I actually like season 2.
It was fine.
Better.
Of course.
But,
of course.
you know,
season 1 and 2.
whatever.
Season 1 and 2 for sure.
Yeah. I just like the setting of season 2. I thought the whole Italy like storyline was so like,
it's incredible.
Yeah.
So,
and also like so hot. So many hotties on that season. It was crazy.
That was a good season. There really were a lot of hotties on that season.
Yeah. Like, anyway. An epic show and a great time to be had. But speaking of epic.
Great time to be had. Speaking of epic.
Girl.
Bitch.
Happy birthday to you. It was a weekend. So, I mean, there's been all kinds of like, and we'll never know the ins and outs of it because we were not part of these media previews, but there's been all kinds of like swirling of like this rule versus that rule about what you can show and not show. And then all of a sudden this weekend, it was just like the lid blew clean off and then here's everything. And it was an embarrassment of riches. I was glued to my phone all weekend, honey, watching every single update. Just
YouTube videos. I was watching YouTube videos.
Wolfing it down.
And TikToks and just wolfing it down. I'm shook.
Gagged.
You know what? I will say, like, the queue alone for the Harry Potter ride.
How is it real?
Probably the best thing I think I've ever seen in a theme park, period.
Literally.
On screen, on a video. Literally on a video. I was like, huh?
Yeah, and of course every caption's like, this literally doesn't even do it justice. You have to see for yourself. It literally is like breathtaking. Yeah. Like, and I believe it. It looks breathtaking in a TikTok, for God's sake. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, the flu powder and walking through the fireplace, and then it just opens up into this enormous, like multi-story, cavernous, huge building. I'm like, what? Like,
you know what got me? Like in the building where you see what's her name?
Umbridge on the
on the thing, and you see like the columns on either side, like of the building, and you see like the fans going, and it just looks so like. No, it looks enormous, and like it looks like really like people were like living there. Like it just looks so like great. Like the theming is just like the best ever, period.
Yeah, I mean, literally talk about like bringing a movie to life. I mean, like I wonder, because I don't know, it's old enough, so maybe it was practical sets when they made Harry Potter and Order of the Phoenix, and we actually got those scenes in the Ministry of Magic and got to see. But I don't know how much of that was like green screen versus practical set. But I'm hard pressed to think that like they actually built something that big and that much in the movie. This may literally be like the first time that they really have like built it out, and it's just crazy to see the like level of detail and how immersive it looks. Like I'm literally is like, you're in the world, you're there, you're at the Ministry of Magic,
you're there.
It looks incredible, like breathtaking. Truly, the only thing I can compare that to is like the reveal on Rise when you walk in and it's just like the 50 stormtroopers lined up in front of the giant window, which is also like breathtaking the first time you do it and every time. It's like, but I mean, truly, like what an incredible visual. Like brava.
They might have done it better. It's incredible. I mean, Dark Universe.
Oh my God.
Incredible. The queue for that ride as well. And I feel like I mentioned this too, but it felt like they took notes from Tokyo Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, there's the part of the queue in the Monsters Unchained ride where there's like the staircase on either side and you're like in like the center like entryway of the building. And that to me felt so Beauty and the Beast.
Totally.
Dark ride in Tokyo. But yeah, like of course they like definitely took notes from there and just like, you know, expanded it and just I don't know, it just looks so good. And the Dr. Frankenstein pre-show, Victoria Frankenstein pre-show, then you see the animatronic coming out. That also reminded me of the Beauty and the Beast dark ride because in the pre-show you see like Beast walk out on the one side and Belle walk out on the other side. So I definitely know that they definitely took notes from that, but still incredible.
Yeah. I mean, like unbelievable. I'm like, wow, I can't believe that like they went that hard just on a queue, just to be able to get through. Like, they're giving you animatronics in the queue, in the whole pre-show of it all. Like, the lighting looks insane. Like, just going through it. And then to think on top of it that you're getting like Danny Elfman, like custom composed bespoke music that's like playing through the whole land as you're like kind of getting into the vibe of Dark Universe. I'm like, I will say, I sent you that ride video of the like arm. I was like, I will throw up literally everywhere. Like, I think there's a 0% chance that I would be able to ride that and survive, but I can't wait to hear what you think of it when you ride it. Now, clarify.
No, you are coming on it.
So the arm video specifically that I sent you,
the Kuka arm.
Yeah, that's like a mini that's in the queue, and it's way more exaggerated than the actual ride is. I was gonna say, they show it to be like,
there's no way.
Like, it's meant to like freak you out. The point is to be like, oh my God, this is insane. Whatever. Watching the actual POVs from the ride, I mean, it does still like move you around quite a bit, but it doesn't look like you're literally like
yeah, no. Have you've been on the Forbidden Journey?
No, I haven't.
Ride. Girl,
I haven't. When I went on my honeymoon, it was shut down.
Oh my God, yeah. No. I mean, it's a great ride. Of course,
like you are gonna throw up.
No, but it doesn't feel. Well, that ride at least doesn't feel as, flippy floppy.
Sure. I've heard from our good friend Lauren over at Main Street Tourist that she really swears by the like nausea patches that you put on, because I was talking to her about this semi recently, and I was like, Nick's such a bully, he's gonna make me ride all of these rides that I'm like terrified to ride. And she was like, yeah, that's my friend too, but honestly, like, you can just like wear a nausea patch and get through it, you'll be okay. So Lauren, if you're listening, I'm gonna hold you to that, but like we'll see how
that's a genius idea.
But I don't want to enable your Aries bullying. Okay, I'm just a gentle soul, and maybe I get nauseous sometimes.
I mean, you just got to go on everything once, just see how you feel, and then you never have to do it again if you don't like it.
Yeah, I'm just scared that you're going to be literally like peeling me off of it with a spatula or like the Jaws of Life, and I'm going to be literally like a jelly figure just like melting into the seat, and you're going to have to like scoop me up and carry me out. Yeah.
Literally like SpongeBob when he like melts into his pants, and then he just like Did I tell you about that the first time I rode Guardians and saw this guy? It was like just this grown ass like middle-aged like man and his wife, and he was on the other side of like the queue just sitting there, and there was a cast member with them, and they had one of those like break like ice packs that like get cold really fast, and they had one like on the back of his neck, and his wife was sitting there just like rubbing his back, and he was like dry heaving hungover like and I was like, I don't think I can do this. Like, I was so scared. Horrible.
I mean, it's a really intense coaster. Like, let's be honest, but
it is. Yeah. That happened to me the first time I rode Mission Space way back in the day, like when it first opened.
I will never.
I remember like leaving the ride and like people literally like laying on the benches outside and like just so like sick, and like people who worked there, like people who were like working the ride, like they're like helping basically with the ice packs too. Like people were so sick from that ride. And honestly, same. I don't get sick from rides, but that ride, absolutely not.
Yeah, that's a no. That's a no for me.
It's a no.
But that said, I mean,
Wait, have you been on Mission Space?
See,
oh good. Yeah, no,
I know my limits. I'm like, I would never.
That.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not messing with that.
Don't do it.
But like we were talking about it in the context of Flight of Passage, and which, it's a point of contention for the two of us, we know. But when you and I go together on our next trip, I know we're going to ride it. We'll just rip the Band-Aid and just get it over with. It's fine.
Girl, that is like the easiest ride ever. It's so chill.
I will be having a drink before. Maybe two.
Of course.
Yeah. One of those Pongu margaritas or whatever they call them in Pandora.
Oh, I like the grapefruit beer that you get in Animal Kingdom. Yeah. That's what I was drinking when I was there last
I had something with like boba in it that was like...
Ooh.
Yeah.
I love a boba.
Yeah.
I had a boba this weekend. Love them.
Fab. Yeah, I love it. I would say other things at Epic that looked truly like incredible. Sleeper hit. That celestial carousel thing looks insane, like so cool. Oh my god,
the way the things danced and like the road. I mean, girl, you get motion sickness. That kind of looked a little.
I didn't say I wanted to do it. I just said it looked really cool. Like
It did look really cool.
But like the visual, like all of the ride vehicles, like I sent you the one this weekend because they previewed one of them up close and it's a bull. And I was like, ooh, Taurus, like whatever, because it's themed after like constellations. And like they have these beautiful, like colorful, like ombres and everything is gorgeous, like just beautiful. The aesthetic is like amazing. And you see this gigantic like turntable with all of these like celestial creatures on it. I was like, wow, this is gorgeous. I can't imagine. I'm sure at nighttime it's like insane.
It's beautiful.
I saw the whatever they're called, the racing like dueling coasters. I've seen some videos of those that look really cool.
Amazing.
That I'll tell you this, I think I could do that. I mean, it looks intense, but not like I'm gonna like hurl my guts out. It's like, yeah, it's an intense roller coaster, but like you're not gonna die. Oh my god, like.
No, that looks amazing. The theming is great. It's got like that cool little flux capacitator or whatever in the like,
you know what the aesthetic kind of reminds me of? It's giving like Hyperspace Mountain in Disneyland Paris. It's giving sort of that like
it does look
Jules
like that.
Verne kind of like retro futuristic, like but like not the same way that Tomorrowland is retro futuristic. I mean like Discoveryland, like not 1950s, it's like 1800s futuristic. Like it's like steampunk kind of.
Yep, steampunk.
And it's like very cool.
Discoveryland.
I think that looks
vibes.
Super cool. And again, like all of the visuals are just like working together. Like the whole, like I saw the statue of the, what is it? It's supposed to be like Apollo or something. And there's like a ring and he's Apollo. Like shooting a like bow and arrow and it like looks right out to the sun. And I'm like, oh my God. Like,
yeah, it's incredible.
It's unbelievable.
And I did see like videos of Celestial Park at night. With like the lighting, I mean, they have LED lights also in the ground.
And they actually work.
And they actually work.
Crazy.
And they look incredible.
Yeah, it's wild how that works when you actually try. Yeah. It's so weird.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah. The walkthroughs of the hotel, the Grand Helios Hotel, like that, the rooftop bar or whatever that like looks out over the park and everything. Girl, we're getting a drink there. We're going. Can you imagine just the vibes, there. Just hanging out and just like.
Also, the fountain show. I mean, the fountains in the front of the hotel. Well, I don't know if it's the front or the back of the hotel technically, but yeah,
sickening.
It just sickening,
insane.
Looks that amazing. kind of gives Fantasy Springs Hotel.
Yeah, I bet
in Tokyo. Again.
Yeah,
I do feel like they took a lot of notes from Tokyo. But
yeah, I bet, and you would know.
It's great.
You would know.
I would know.
Yeah,
I was there.
I love it.
I was there.
The other two lands, I mean, again, I don't know a single thing about How to Train Your Dragon, but obviously those animatronics and like meet and greets with Toothless and the other
meet and greet of Toothless. Like, oh my god,
dragons. I almost called them dinosaurs. Are so whatever they basically are so cute.
Weird. I watched all three How to Train Your Dragons last week on my birthday, high key.
Wow.
And I watched Jurassic Park this weekend.
Yes. Oh my God, the best. I will still never get over Jurassic Park River Adventure. It's like the best log flume ride in the world.
It literally is. Also, I mean, Jurassic Park is high key one of the best movies ever created.
The OG, just like literally
OG.
The first
nothing
one.
after the OG. The first.
I like the second one with Julianne Moore too.
I do too, because we get more of Jeff Goldblum. I like that one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. And this summer we get Johnny Bailey being a hot nerd. Yeah. Love it.
And we will be seeing that as well.
We'll be seated. Yeah, I love it.
We'll be seated.
And I'll be thirsty.
Gotta get a extra large drink.
I almost said something more inappropriate, but I'll just I'll be thirsty. That's all.
I think we can
infer.
Gather what you were thinking.
Yeah, no, we get it.
Yeah, we can infer.
Yeah, no, I mean, the Isle of Berk stuff looks very cool. All of the costuming of the costume characters walking around looks so cool.
Here's little Dart right here.
Yeah. Oh my God, she's
People
so
always
cute.
say that she looks like Toothless, doesn't she?
She does kind of, with the green eyes. Yeah.
She does look like Toothless.
Yep.
She's like, what do I do?
I love it. I will say, I don't know if you saw some of the discourse online. That was one place where there was like something that I didn't see. The only thing I saw this weekend about Epic that wasn't just like universal blind praise of like how gorgeous was the sightlines in that land specifically were like, oh, and people being like, if Disney did this, you know that you would be tearing them to shreds. So let's just be fair at least. Okay. No one's taking it, not saying that it detracts from everything else and all the other wonderful things they've done, but sure. And you can see it very clearly in like specifically in the like Isle of Berk land portal, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, you could see like
There's
you
big
could see, like, backs of
old,
buildings. You could.
Guardians of the Galaxy
Show buildings.
buildings, in go away green,
I did
whatever.
see that.
So it's like, but whatever, it's fine. I'm sure it's incredible.
Whatever. Also, I mean, to be fair, it's a brand new park. The shrubbery,
wait
like
for trees to grow
scarce.
Yeah,
it's scarce.
Yeah,
people have been saying that it's really no shade. Of course, we've talked about that, but
we might have to get some like little parasols and make it part of our fits for our trip. Give it a full little like UV umbrella, like.
Absolutely.
Yeah, serve that.
I would love that.
We were just talking about the importance of good skincare and sun care, honey.
Hat. Just the ones that you wear on your head, like as a
Actually,
hat.
I'm just gonna get one of those little like propeller hats.
The propeller hats. Yeah, that'll help.
Oh my God, wait, now this is making me think, low-key, sorry, I'm jumping around, but in the Harry Potter land, so I saw that they had like face characters walking around, and they had people from the different schools. So they had like a Hogwarts student in like the robes walking around, and then they had a Beauxbaton student because it takes place in France. So they had like a girl in the little like blue witch uniform that we saw in the fourth Harry Potter. And then they had a student from like the US wizarding school and their little uniform. And I was like, okay, this is amazing. I didn't even know there was like a US school. I had to like do all the lore and research about it afterwards then too. Yeah, there's like a US wizarding school. I don't know, but it's called Ilvermorny.
Well, you just said you did all the research.
Well, I was looking, I can't remember. I think it's New York or something, but it's like,
I would hope it would be New York. That would make the most sense.
But then they also like, you could see their costuming and stuff. And it was like, oh, this is chic as hell.
Ralph Lauren.
It's very, it's kind of giving like picture like 1920s like artist director kind of. It was, they had like a beret with like a suit jacket and then like wide leg pants and like a sweater vest with like a tie. And I was like, this is like very chic. I absolutely would wear this.
Was it red, white, and blue?
Yeah. It was like maroon and like navy, like not red, white, and blue, but like, like chic.
Yeah, but like the shades of.
Yeah. It was very cute. Yeah, I'll have to try and find it and send it to you. But I was like, oh, okay. So I'm seeing a potential like, bounding idea, dress up to the park kind of inspo here. Because I was like, this is very cool. I would totally channel. Like, I couldn't get down with the robes, no shade. I love that people love to like dress up to the parks and stuff. And like they sell the full, Hogwarts drag at Universal already. And, people do it and they commit to it just like they do with Jedi clothes and in Galaxy's Edge. And they do the full robes. I'm like, that's a lot. Just because it's like hot and everything. It seems cumbersome. But a chic little kind of 20s inspired, like, school uniform, schoolboy fit. I'm like, that's kind of hot. I would totally wear that. Like, so.
Period.
We'll see.
I would too.
Yeah, it's cute.
Maybe we should.
Yeah, I'll send you a pic.
Great.
So that's cool. And also, honestly, just to not be left out, the Super Nintendo Mario stuff looks amazing too. It's very cool to see how big it is, especially compared to the one in Hollywood, which is so small. The whole Donkey Kong expansion area looks amazing. Like, it just honestly looks like very, very cool. And I'm not even
and
like
you have
a
to go
Mario
up an
head like
escalator
that
to get in. It just looks, it looks huge. And I just saw, I saw a video of like just you walking through Peach's castle and that like first view with like the of course like the beautiful like sunshine of Florida and like the clouds. It literally looked like the video
like
game,
in a video game,
like a picture. Yeah, like literally. I was like, wow, it's pretty incredible.
It's awesome.
It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
I love it. Obviously, we talked a little bit about the discourse, but like, there's been no shortage of it online this weekend of people talking stuff. And I think that we owe it to our listeners and to ourselves as super fans, like to be just like very fair. I think a lot of times people online feel the temptation to say things that are like really inflammatory just to like get clicks and get engagement. And I saw so many like quote unquote clickbait hot takes of like people being like, oh, this thing and like whatever, like Disney's probably like, sweating in their boots, whatever. I'm sure that they do feel some pressure, but I do think that this is a nice opportunity for us as like Disney super fans to kind of talk about like lessons that could be learned from this, like, and like this obviously near universally positive reception to this, but also like I feel like there's just ways that Disney can start to like make some adjustments because, they seem like they're really like, as the kids say, just like in the trenches right now. They've just been going through it over on the Disney side. like,
I think you're right. I think they are probably sweating a little bit, which as they should. But I think a little healthy competition never hurted
always
anybody.
Good thing. That's
or
the whole premise of capitalism, is it not?
Especially I was just gonna say, I mean, especially in like the entertainment space, historically, with the Universal Disney theme park wars, like it's been a thing. Like one, obviously, one brand does one thing, the next brand then has to up it. So I think, in hindsight, we are probably this is a positive thing because we are literally. I think that Disney are going to make some incredible changes. They don't even, in the short term, I think they don't even need to do that much. I think just a few small tweaks here and there. And I think the guest experience could be just improved dramatically. But then as far as the expansions down the road, like
Sky's the limit.
I think they're gonna answer, and they are gonna answer hard.
Yep.
Is that what the kids say? I just made that
No,
up.
I feel like you're right. Yeah.
But they are gonna, yeah, they're gonna like give us probably something even more incredible.
Yeah. So I feel like
I have no doubt.
we've talked about a little bit in previous episodes, some of the little things that they've started to do that feel like just very like low hanging fruit that they could do right now that take very little. And I'm glad to see that they're doing it. Like we talked about how they're bringing back kind of organic character interactions of people like wandering through the parks. Wonderful. Give us some more magic like that. As I'm sure you saw, they just started piloting the luggage service again at some of the value resorts at Disney, which is
That's
a wonderful
huge.
perk. Thank goodness.
That's
Like,
huge.
and it's interesting. It goes along with something I saw this weekend, which was like it was not a hot take, not one of those clickbaity things we were just talking about. It was a pretty nuanced, like informed perspective. And I tend to agree with, which I'm going to share with you now, which is like, they were saying that Disney is aware that like, while they have irons in the fire, right? We know this Cars shit is coming allegedly. There's like Villains Land way down in the line. There's other stuff happening, the Monsters Inc. expansion, the coaster and all that. But they know that like none of those are really shovels in the ground. It's going to be literally years before we see any of these. So they're sort of aware that they kind of have to cede these next couple years to Universal. Just is what it is. Like Epic is going to get the shine and attention. So where they're at right now is that like, and the prediction that we saw, and I think we're already starting to see this, is that Disney is going to do everything that they can to incentivize and hang on to their most loyal fan base over these next couple of years. People like you and me, people like me who are annual pass holders and go all the time. So you're going to see unprecedented levels of like hotel and resort discounts. You're going to see like cheaper prices on like renewals of like annual passes. You're going to see the water parks. They just announced both of them are going to be open at the same time for the first time since pre-pandemic era. We were just talking about how they're bringing back these luggage services. Like they're doing these special ticket bundles now that don't involve Magic Kingdom, but the other three parks, you can get a ticket bundle for super duper cheap. I was telling you about how annual pass discounts for like, summer and fall are like super steep now. They're giving you all this stuff. So I think that they are doing from a business stance something smart, which is trying to just like maintain goodwill amongst the people that already love them rather than trying to like bring in warm blood of like new people with like, look at this shiny new ride. Because again, what do they have going for them right now? Tiana's, and it's broken every day. Like, I think they're trying to just like maintain goodwill with their diehard loyal fans. And I'm appreciate it as one of those people. And I think that we can enjoy it. And I think you're right. A rising tide will lift all boats, and hopefully our patience will be rewarded in a few years when like we get, a Villains Land that maybe is better than it ever would have been had Epic never opened and given us Dark Universe. You know what I mean?
And I have high hopes for even the Tropical Americas. I mean, I think they're going to knock that out of the park. Like an Encanto ride where you're going through the house. Like, I mean, I just, again, I feel like the sky is the limit with like that type of, ride and just idea. So I'm very hopeful. I think like even that'll be like a good little new thing to like hold us over until we do get like a Villains Land and all that stuff.
Yep. I agree with all of that. I think that none of the things that we're discussing here is stuff that they haven't thought about or aren't deeply aware of. They know what they're doing. They didn't make it to 100 years as a company without like being aware of like how to do good business and figure this out. And I think people are a little like unfairly harsh on them because at the end of the day, like, yes, we love both. And there are a lot of people who love both. But if you're talking about like the ideal customer for each, they really aren't the same person. Like the people and families that go to Disney religiously are not the same that go to Universal. There is some crossover in this like Venn diagram, but there really are two distinct kind of like, customer bases, you know, people looking for different experiences. And so like it is a little kind of unfair to compare the two of them one to one. And I think ultimately, like you said, the healthy competition of the two of them, you know, just being able to like constantly one up another is a good thing.
It's a good thing.
That said, I would much rather be in Universal shoes right now than Disney, because I feel like Disney has just been really going through it, swing and a miss. Like we were talking a little bit about, like, you know, Lord knows if you've been listening to the pod, you heard the Snow White episode. That was a big swing and a miss.
Big, like, truly
catastrophic.
Maybe one of the biggest flops in Hollywood history.
Yeah, not even just for Disney. I mean, literally, like,
no,
of all
it's
time,
not.
just
Like, I'm not even.
Movies.
I wish I was being sarcastic. No, like that is.
Yeah,
that is true.
Yeah,
I think. What did I see? I saw it made 77 million domestic total, 168 global. It's already been out how many weekends? 3.
Yeah.
Not even close to making the money back of the budget. Like, not even close.
Right. Let alone the fact that the standard metric is like, to do quote unquote well, not excellent, is like you have to make double back. And they're not even going to make the investment back. They're not even going to break even, let alone make double. Like, no. It's just
it's really bad. And also, like, it's just I'm sure I don't think they were expecting Minecraft to be a huge hit.
But like, didn't we though? Because I remember on our episode of Snow White, I was like, I feel like some people are just going to go see Minecraft the following weekend, and that's going to be the new thing. I remember vividly. Go run the tape back. If you're listening right now,
go run the tape.
Put a pause in this. Go back 2 episodes, listen to it, and then come back. But seriously, I'm like, it's not surprising. Of course, Minecraft is hugely popular, and something interactive like this where people, I don't know the first thing about it, but like people, you know, I've seen the videos online of kids singing along and hooting and hollering and jumping up and down and all the things in the theater. It's like, I don't know. That's what people want to do. Like, that's just like Wicked, you know, when Wicked came out, they had the sing-alongs. People wanted to go to the theater and sing along. Who's singing along to Snow White in the theater? Not anybody in our theater, honey.
Well, that's the whole thing. Like, I just think Disney needs to take this note and just realize, like, people want to go to the movies for different things nowadays. Like, it's people want to go for like an event, an experience, to get them out of their houses and off the couches. Like, it's got to be an event. And I'm sorry, but like, yeah, like you said, who the hell is going to be singing along to Snow White?
Princess
like,
problems.
Even enjoying themselves, let alone having a party.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that Bobby I. Why did I say Bobby G? I don't know. Bobby G. Bobby IG.
Yeah. Bobby Igs.
Bobby Igs. I think he knows the issue. And he's even like, you know, he said it before, but like he knows like that the studios need a huge revamp. Like, I just think he realizes that like storytelling and like stories in general like are important, and like this jumbled up like Frankenstein like storytelling just so that you can get like certain messages across and all of that, like it's just not working. It's not working anymore.
I have high hopes for Lilo and Stitch. I feel like there's a chance that we're going to get the redemption of like, okay, here's a good live action that was true to the original, that everybody universally loved, and it was good for kids young and old, and, you know, it was fun, and we were singing along and bebopping and laughing, and it was joyful and upbeat.
Yeah.
I think we'll get that out of Lilo and Stitch. So far, everything we've seen, the media promotion and campaign of it, the trailers we've seen so far, it feels very... We're going that way. This doesn't seem as like doomed from the start as Snow White did. So I'm hopeful.
Agreed.
And, you know, like we said, there's chances for Disney this year to start to turn things around in their favor this summer. We're looking forward to the new nighttime parade. We're going to get these new lounges opening, which again is just like a nice perk for people that are already diehard fans. You know, they're throwing these discounts back. They're giving these extra services of like back that we have missed and held on to, you know, the luggage service thing. They're starting to bring back these organic character interactions. So I think that like, they're starting to like take the feedback, and that is like, you know, a positive step. And in the meantime, there's no reason to not be happy and celebrate both, because I cannot wait to go to Epic. It looks truly incredible.
Same.
And I can't wait for the positive things. I remain clear-eyed and open-hearted for Disney and everything yet to come. So we'll see.
I love that.
I'm trying to
Ended
be
on a
sunny and
positive.
positive, honey.
Sunny and positive on
Yeah,
this gloomy day
sure. Welcome
in
to April, honey.
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, on that note,
Honey.
let's take a little break, and then we'll be right
Let's
back
take a
with
little break.
our favorite segment of the week. Be right back.
Perfect. Bye.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Hi.
Hey.
So it's our favorite time of the week. We look forward to it every week. I know I do.
I know I do.
It's time for Drink or Drag. It's our recurring segment where we talk about goings on in pop culture in the theme park world and ask our dear co-host if they would like to drink to it and toast to that thing and celebrate it, or drag it
Drag it to hell.
as it deserves. So I'll start us off this week in the topic of kind of Disney really being in the trenches lately and needing to fight back. There has been some reporting out in the world that apparently after the truly hard to overstate how much of a bomb it was, bomb, flop, whatever word you want to choose, of Snow White.
Floppiana.
Yeah, that Disney has shelved Tangled and apparently all future live action films indefinitely.
Period.
And my question for you is, do you drink to that decision or drag that decision? And
Honey,
why?
Honey, I drink to it. My iced coffee. I think it's a very smart decision because to me, that tells me they looked at these upcoming movies and these scripts and they probably fucked them up as bad as they did with Snow White. They looked at these and they were like, oh yeah, we cannot release this. So let's reevaluate. And to me, I don't think it means they're fully canceled. Like I think they're on hold and I think they're just literally going to make sure that they're going to be great. And that's what we want. So I am all for it.
Yep. I think that's a very generous take and one that I think is, while it is charitable, I agree with. I think that it's, whatever. If you wanted to look at it with like an ice cold heart, you could just be like, they can't afford to waste any more money. They could just say like, look, we are not going to get.
I thought about it.
Yeah. I mean, like,
I thought about it, but I'm not going to do that because I'm positive.
Yeah, we're being positive. I think that, we learned from Snow White that you can't make a movie out of 3 different movies stacked on top of each other in a trench coat. You have to actually make it its own thing. And you're right. I think that whatever stages of early development that Tangled, Hercules, what have you, other things already we're clearly heading in a direction that we're not going to be,
Great.
winners. And whether the decision was, financial or otherwise, I think it's smart for everybody to just say, let's just put a pause on things and figure out what's going on and make sure that we get the right cooks in the kitchen and then revisit this when we're in a better place. Everyone needs to go play time out for a little bit, learn their lessons, and then, come back. So I think, again, as we said before, I think it's a net positive. I mean, especially for those of us that are very near and dear and loyal to, the Hercules and Tangled universe. I love both those movies dearly. So I want them to really nail those live actions. So I think it's for the best. It's for the best.
And to me, it also says that they're probably reevaluating the studios in general, probably going to clean house with the people who probably don't need to be there anymore and that are making these decisions to completely ruin movies. Yeah. So, I hope that that's kind of where we're going. Word.
Agreed. Well, baby, what have you got for me?
Well, I mean, I already know what you're going to say, but mine's kind of general and it's got nothing to do with what we're talking about, but more pop culture-y. And mine is Drink or Drag, the Mayhem pre-sale.
Oh, God. Yeah, I literally had my drink open, ready to drink it, and I was like, okay. What on earth are we doing here, people? I'm
disappointed. I'm just did you even get a ticket? I didn't get a ticket.
4 days in a row of attempts. I mean, I thought that the experience of getting Cowboy Carter tickets was difficult and
This was
overpriced
way
and
worse.
difficult. So much worse. Unbelievably expensive. I mean, truly. And like, I'm not saying from like, oh, I thought it was going to be $50. I understand what concert tickets cost
Probably
now.
400.
I
I get
get
that.
it. Like,
Whatever.
I spent several $100s on Beyonce tickets. Like, I get, whatever.
Yeah.
We understand. I knew what I was getting into. Now that the tickets that are only available are like resale tickets, I don't know if you saw this. I went and saw it for myself because I was just curious, browsing days after the general sale had ended, after my fourth attempt in a row of not getting them.
Thousands.
Floor seats, $10,000 a piece.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, please.
You buy a car.
Yeah,
like, what are we doing? Honestly, what are we doing?
What are we doing? I'm so upset. I mean, love our girl, but like this is like really messed up.
Yeah. And I don't really know what the fix is, really, because it's like, I get that everything has cost more in time, right? Like, it's like, I get everything has gone up, right? So the cost to produce a spectacle of a show, which these girls give, Beyonce, Gaga, whatever, like, the cost to produce a show like that, and I don't just mean hard materials, the tariffs, but like the labor, the people, and people deserve to be paid fairly. Lord knows I have dear friends that have worked on world tours literally with Beyonce. Like, I know, like, you got to pay these people to put on the level of spectacle. They need to understand really specialized skill sets to run these like automated lights and, all of the video production that goes into them, the sound, all of it, right? To say nothing of like the cast, the backup dancers, all of the musicians, the costumers, everybody that puts it. I get that just the operating costs of a show alone are expensive and cost more. So the tickets need to reflect that. However, the brokers, Ticketmaster, SeatGeek, StubHub, these like companies that are doing this, then also using dynamic pricing or whatever they want to call it, like, because they have demand there for these things, is so unbelievably greedy and ridiculous. And I just want to get on my political soapbox for 2 seconds. There was a candidate that had a plan to eliminate these junk fees on tickets, and we did not put them in office this year. So unfortunately,
they ain't it.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I think it's really unfortunate, the just bald-faced corporate greed that we're standing in the face of. Like, we're not even hiding it. They're just literally like, yeah, if you want to spend $10,000 on a Lady Gaga ticket, you can. Ticketmaster will be happy to take that from you. And I just think that's unbelievable BS. And it's going to put, it serves nobody, because then these performers, Gaga, right, is going to be there performing to,
I'm sure
like,
she's not happy about it.
Billionaires and their wives who like don't know any Lady Gaga music just because they were like bored and wanted something to do on a Tuesday night, and then go to the show and she's going to be begging, sing along, and they're like, I don't know the words, I don't even know who this is. Like, meanwhile, diehard fans are locked out. And again, I'm being realistic. I'm not saying I wanted it to cost $30 to go see the show. I get that it was going to be a few $100, but like, thousands for like 200 and 300 level seats is just truly like unfathomable.
The only semi silver lining, and I don't even know if I could call it that, but I'm very glad that we're able to watch the Coachella performance on YouTube, which I believe we need to 100% be together for that. And like, it's going to be an event, but it is at 2 a.m. But whatever, fuck it. I will be staying up for that. Like, that's the only like kind of like silver lining, but it's not really even that.
Yeah, I think she knows that too, because it seems like she's really going hard with the production. All the little teasers and previews we've seen of that so far, it looks like she's really going to bring it this weekend.
Yeah, I think so. This weekend. Oh my god, wait, I'm not even gonna be here for it.
We'll talk about it on the pod. That'll probably be next week's podcast episode, is like Gaga Coachella, Gaga-chella, the mayhem.
I'll be watching it in Mexico, honey.
Yes, baby, get that travel in. So yeah, I think that to close on a positive note, I don't necessarily hold her so accountable for this. You got to sell your tickets somehow. They're the only show in the game. This is how you do it. I get it. I just think it's really unfair, but we'll do what we can to celebrate from afar. And who knows, to quote the Princess Diaries, miracles happen. So I don't know, maybe
once in a while,
maybe we'll find a way to make ourselves there and get there. We'll be like belaying in from the roof like she did at the Super Bowl, like sneaking in,
literally.
like, do
Spider-Man.
do. I don't know. But at the very least, we're gonna be tuned in and seated for Gaga Cello, and I'm sure it's gonna be amazing.
Period.
And that said, that's our episode.
That's it.
Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for listening to Ears to It. This was another meandering one, but I mean, no one ever said that we weren't going to be chaotic, honey. It's right in the episode description. We say it
It's April.
Yeah, we bring it to you every ball. It's April, you April fool. What do you want?
What do you want?
We are just a couple of April fools, aren't we? Yeah.
We are. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. If you haven't yet, be sure to like and subscribe wherever you're listening. Spotify, YouTube, Amazon.
Rate, review.
iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts. Give us ratings and reviews. Comment and engage. Follow us on socials. We're on all the socials. We'll see you there. Yeah. We're out here.
See you there.
And until next time, I'm Erik.
And I'm Nick.
And this was Ears to It.
See you real soon.
See you real soon.
Bye.